Republic of Venezuela had talked yesterday with the delegate with Colombia, and they have proposed to establish the diplomatic relations yesterday. And that was all. And also, yesterday was found the criminal that was in Ecuador, and the criminal is today prosecuted, but the only information that we can give today to all the delegations is that this criminal is not from Latin America and doesn't help any government from Latin America. Thank you.
Yes, Delegate Colombia.
The delegation of Colombia would like to make clear that the discussion yesterday didn't end up like that. The delegation of Colombia said that Colombia wishes to reestablish the relations with Venezuela, but is not going to do it until the IP address have been tracked.
Thank you, Delegate.
The delegation of the Republic of India thinks that it's important, and the crisis that the committee faced yesterday and is facing this morning is the result of the absence of an international agreement towards the cyberterrorism. The delegation invites to all your delegations to contribute and help in the construction of possible solutions in the topic of cyberterrorism for creating the stability and preserving the peace in our world. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Yes, Delegate of the United States of America.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Delegates, with the crisis that arrived to this committee yesterday, there are a few points that are obvious. First of all, we're in a war. Yes, delegates, we're in a war toward all those who committed terrorist acts on the internet. We're in a war that we gotta win. How? By getting into the first meetings, by capturing them, pursuing them, and finally getting to justice. Sure, there are some measures that have to be done for this to happen, and an international agreement is one of them, maybe the most important. But an international agreement can only be made with relations of trust, can only be made with guarantees that all states compromises themselves to eradicating, to eliminating this problem from our agendas. And how can it be done? Let's say non-state create abidance, non-state protects criminals, and non-state violates the international agreements that have been done before. There's only another point that's important, and that is shown in the crisis, and is the one of the liberties. Yes, people have rights, and that rights gives them liberties of speech, liberties of press, liberties of saying what they think it's appropriate to say. And we have to respect that. And we have to make them conscious of what they are saying in order to eliminate any threats that can be made by those statements. And that's really important, delegates. And that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Delegate. Yes, Delegate of Egypt.
The Arab Republic of Egypt accepts the invitation of Japan for establish a dialogue about Mr. Assange. The main deal of this is just for combat against cyber terrorism and make a truly cooperation. The Arab Republic of Egypt invites all delegations to compromise with these important issues. We must have to fight for development of our citizens and freedoms. Thanks.
Thank you, Delegate of Egypt. Yes, Delegate of Japan.
Well, the delegation of Japan is happy to see and observe that some of the delegations are actually going to consider the proposition made by the delegation of Japan. This is a huge progress into the path that we're taking towards the cybersecurity and the protection of all cyber systems against cyber terrorism. As we all know, cyber terrorism is a problem that concerns us all equally. Not only the developed countries, not only the developing countries, but all of us equally. So, international cooperation is the first step, is the mean to get to our goals, to get to actually concrete solutions that actually solve the problem. Like making new institutions, especially on developing countries, which are the ones that are more vulnerable into this type of problems, like especially like China and India, one of the biggest ones in the world, and the developed countries. I'm sure that the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, France, and some other delegations who are not present would be in the same agreement of sharing capital human, of sharing physical capital, etc. All these factors that support our objective as a committee and to get into a concrete solution. Thank you.